everyone, TeresaLouise here. Welcome back to my sewing room. Thank you for joining me today. I know I'm an hour early, or am I 11 hours late? I don't know. So if you tried to join me at 2 o'clock this morning, a.m., I'm sorry about that. I messed up, obviously. I messed up when I scheduled my live, so um, anyway, terribly sorry about that. Let me see who we have. We have Linda. Hi, Linda. And we have Lisetta, Karen, Jean, Donna, Polly. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining me today. I appreciate it. Hope everybody is doing well. Today we're going to talk about color and picking out colors for your quilts or your other projects that you have. I noticed, well, over the last years, that a lot of people comment that picking out fabric colors is the hardest thing for them to do. And so I thought we'd just go over that today and answer any questions if you have. Now, this is just, keep in mind, this is how I do it. This is my opinion. Is all. It doesn't mean it's totally right. If you have a better way than, and whatever works for you, be sure and put it in the comments and let us know, either in the chat or in the comments under the live, because we're all here to learn. So, and I'm not opposed to learning. You're not late, Susan. Hello, hello. How are you doing? Hi, Katie. Hey, Sean. Let's see who else we have. The chat is going by quickly, so let me... Good day, Sean. How are you doing? Okay. Polly, Glinda, Ginger, Jackie, Diane, Brenda H., Teresa Foster, Nina, Leah, Glinda, Lori, Terry, Sean, the guy who sews, Katie from Greenland Quilter, Susan from Sewing Sensations by Shady Susan, Susan, Bowen, Mary G, hello June. Let's see, who else we got? Hi, Stir. How are you doing? And we have Jamie, Barbara M. My chat just jumped, so. Rowena, Donna A., Marie, and Darla. Judy, hello. Did I? Okay, so let me see. Oh, we have Sandy. Hello, Sandy. Okay. Hi, Shirley. Donna H. Hello. Okay, so if you have any questions about anything, put a heart first. I don't care what color, any color. And then your question. That way I can see, I'll be able to see it easier. Or if you know how to tag me, you can do that. Hi, Jojo. Okay, who else we got? Hi, Lisa. Hi, Mona. Hello, Pam. How's it going? Okay, so you've all seen the purple horse, okay? Purple and different colors. I've done a couple of videos on that one already, so I'm not gonna go into that again about how I picked the colors. But I did do another horse quilt, or I'm working on another horse quilt, and this time I picked shades of brown and blue and brown and blue. Yeah. So I'm going to show you that one first, and I'll show you the colors that I picked out. Okay, if you ask what horse are you talking about, and it's this one, the Summer Breeze pattern, and by Tony Whitney, and it is raw edge appliques, so you're using fusible webbing with it. Okay. Um, it comes with the color card. So I basically kind of went off of it to pick my shades, lights, mediums, and darks. Not necessarily the same colors, but within those tones, within those shades, this is what I used. But even if you don't have that, you don't really, you know, have to have that. You can actually go off of the photograph if you have it, or if you have a photograph of a horse that you love, or that, or a horse that you just like. You could pick the colors off of that if you have that photograph. Okay, so let me show you the horse that's in the blues and browns, and this is what I have so far. I'll try not to move it around on you too much so you can look at it. Okay? So, different shades of browns and different shades of blues. Okay? Okay, I don't know if I can hold that. Let's see if I can hold this up right there. Without knocking the lamp over. Okay. So there's that. Okay. So here are the colors. These are the colors. Okay. I haven't used these yet. So here are the colors. In the pattern for this one, it has 12 colors. With number 1 and number 9, number 1 color is the background color, and number 9 is the border. So you really only need 10 colors. Okay? So basically what I did was I used the same creams in this horse as I did in the purple one. So the face basically is the same colors. And all I did, these color shades are really, really close. There's not much difference in them at all until you get up close. So I just picked out 3 that were pretty similar, but the light and dark, they weren't exactly the same. Okay, and then since I had those and I knew I wanted blue, and I really like teal colored blues, so that's where I picked out this one, because it has the same cream in the back, and then as like this one, same kind of color of cream, but it has the teal, the blue, the light blue in it. Okay, so that was my next color. Okay, so I knew I had that color then, right? So I knew I knew I needed to start going a little bit darker. Let me move these out of the way. Okay, so I knew I needed to go a little bit darker, but I wanted that same blue, okay? That same blue, but with none of the cream colors in there, okay? So you see how those match? The light blue in there matches, but I'm also introducing some darker blues and a little bit of green in it, okay? So that was my next step of color. Now, then I knew I wanted to keep on with the blue color, but I wanted to bring in now some other color too that would go well with it. So the next one I picked was this one because it has the same blue colors, but now I'm introducing some browns and some maroon and some other colors that will start matching the browns, because now I'm going to start moving into browns. Okay, so can you kind of see how I'm going along to get my fabrics? All right, so I've used a lot of my browns up already on the horse. So my next color was the brown. And this is has light browns and dark browns in it. And they match this brown that's in the flower. Okay. All right, so there's that shade of brown. And then I wanted to go a darker shade of brown. But this shade of brown has little dots in it. And the little dots are blues and browns and cream colors, so that it really matches all of those. Whoop. Okay. But we're getting a little darker now, right? Because you have to have that contrast. Now, the next one, I'm just picking out really dark brown, because I know I'm going to have some really dark in this project. So this brown mostly is just browns, different shades of browns. No other colors really in it. I know it kind of looks like maybe, but there's like brown and even down to dark, deep black, or maybe even a dark blue. Okay. Then I knew I was going to have another dark color, because I wanted to use this brown mostly in the hair, okay? And then this dark blue, as you can see, matches through here. So I brought in a dark blue. It matches the really dark deep blue I have over in here, and the blues in the flower pattern down there. And then I needed some black, just a few pieces of black, that's all you need. And this black actually has, and these are all batiks, by the way. It has little dots in it again, just like my brown did, but it has like brown, white, and dark blues. And so that one, in black, you can't go wrong with black, really. Black matches everything, but you can kind of see how that has some speckles in it, right? Light speckles. And it matches the browns. And the thing I liked about this one is I could fussy cut if I wanted the really dark black for like right here on the horse, and then the mouth along here. I just cut out the darkest part of the black. I didn't cut out the light areas. So that is how I picked 10 colors for this project. Okay, so I knew I had my creams, and I knew I wanted to bring in blue, and I found this one in my stash. So basically I went off of this one right here to get all these other ones. Okay, and it only really has 2 or 3 colors in it. But as you can see, you can go along and add colors, because I started with this one that didn't have very much more colors to it, but it matched. But it brought in this green and dark blue, so then that made it me able to bring in this one. And then it just really progressed from there with the other browns and so forth. Okay, so does that make sense? Okay, so that's that project. Oh, then I wanted to say, before I move on, now these 2 colors right here, these are very bright colors, okay? They do match. This one does match. I probably won't be using this one, but it matches well enough. It's a little more turquoise or bright blue than I want, but I probably will be using this one. And that one, all I'm going to do with that one is cut out like really small strips like hair to do some highlights up in the hair, but they're going to be very small, okay? And if I use this one, it'll be the same thing. It'll be very small pieces. All right? Okay. I'll see if I oh, thank you, Susan. Susan put the pattern for the horse, I think, into the chat. I was going to do that, but I forgot. So that's that horse. And so, yeah, I didn't use really any of the colors except for the creams, but everything else is something totally different than what the pattern called for. Okay, so I'm just going to look and see if there are any questions, and then we'll move on. Gotta sit down. I'm running over stuff here. Okay, let me bring you a little bit closer, and I'll see if there's any questions. So I'm just going to zoom up and see if there's any. Okay, yep. Susan put the link in there. Well, thank you. Woolly Girl, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it probably does help because I am a painter, you know, I'm sure that helps with my colors, but you can do this too, you guys. Super easy. If you have a problem picking out colors, you know, I was thinking about this earlier. You might, like, let's say you and a friend go to the quilt shop, and your friend picks up this really pretty blue, and you go, that don't look blue. You might want to check with your eye doctor and see if you're a little bit colorblind. Because you might not be completely colorblind, but some people see shades of color differently than other people. And there's a test that they can actually do at the eye doctor to see, you know, what colors you see in, what shades you see in, which is kind of interesting. I've taken a couple of tests just for the fun of it. Thank you, Patty. Okay, I'm looking for any questions. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Jewel. Thank you, Susan. A lot of people saying beautiful horse, beautiful colors. Thank you, everybody. I love both colorways, says Shelley. Thank you. Okay. Well, if the moderators would let me know if I missed a question, I would appreciate it, because I think I missed a lot of comments there. So. Now, Terry, I have seen your work, and you do a really good job. So, hi, Zach. So don't tell me you need help. Okay, I don't see any colors, or not colors, comments, questions. How much yardage do you buy of each piece? It really depends on the fabric. If it's just something I think that would look good in my stash, like batiks, I'll start with batiks. I've been collecting batiks fat quarters because with art quilts or collage quilts, you don't need that much fabric to do them, okay? But I do have some batik fabric that is a yard or 2 yards or even 5 yards. Those pieces are ones that I think would look good in the background or in the border or in borders or binding. Not necessarily pieces that would look good in the quilt itself or, you know, in the design. So it might be a piece that I would put this on. And they're more solid, but not solid. Okay. And so with my regular fabric, I do pretty much the same thing. I might have, I love fat quarters, you know. I just do. I can't help it. I think they look so cute all stacked together. Plus, you get quite a few pieces. If you buy the whole thing, you get a lot of the design, you know. And I just feel like I can do a lot more with fat quarters. So I buy fat quarters. I buy 1 yard. I buy a lot of 1 yard cuts because at my local quilt shops, when they put it on sale, you have to buy at least a yard. Okay. So I buy at least a yard. But if I'm looking at it as I want it for, I think it'll be good for a border, then I'll buy 2 yards. If it's a backing that I'm going to piece, then it's anywhere from 5 to 8 yards of that. So. Oh, cool, Terry. Terry said she ordered the pattern. So I hope that helps. And I'm going to turn the camera around here in just a minute, and you'll be able to see my wall of fabric. And after watching Becca's live or video this morning on her studio, I don't think I have as much fabric as Becca does. Hi, Candace. Hi, Teresa. Thank you. Um, yeah, I'm feeling okay today. Not too bad. I'm ready for a nap, but other than that, yeah, I know you haven't done well, I didn't know you haven't done applique, but applique is really easy. You've done those difficult foundation paper piecing, Terry, so I think you'll do just fine. You do beautiful work, so. Okay. Well, Jamie, I would love to see a tour of your room. We'll see if you have way too much fabric. Yeah, I do too. I do too. Although after I put my fabric on magazine boards, it really shrank up, and I ended up having so much more room on my shelves, and I'm like, see, I don't have that much fabric after all. So, oh, that's good to know. Shelley says cataracts are also will alter the color that you see. Huh, I didn't know that. You did decide to move your sewing room? Awesome, Jamie. I can't wait to see. Okay, so I'm going to have to move you guys around a little bit so that we can look at some more fabric. Um, and it'll just give me just a minute. I don't know where that piece came from. And I'll get us over there. Move the. Sorry to have to move you around, but kind of like how it is around here. Okay. All right. So get ready. I'm going to move the camera in just a few seconds. So get ready for that. Here we go. I'll try and go somewhat slow. Okay, so there's my fabric wall. Don't judge me, huh? Okay. I should have brought a stool over here or something, because I'm going to have to need to sit down here pretty quick. Susan says, that is what I thought when I started putting my fabric on comic boards. I can see what I have also. Yeah, me too. What's an easy pattern to start with? You mean a pattern to make a quilt or a pattern to do like a collage quilt? Hi, Donna H. All right, so I want to start out by, sorry, I'm having a hot flash. I gotta get my hair up. Having a hot flash. I still have those. I hate it too. It's real life here, people. Real life. Yeah, it having them on the boards makes a big difference. Okay, so these are all like all of those are on the boards. Okay, I'll let you look at the fabric. So up here is thread up on the top. Down at the bottom is anything that is less than a yard, but more than a fat quarter. Up there. And then this shelf here, all the way down, those are all fat quarters, and they are mostly fat quarters that are in a bundle, okay? So they all match with each other. Then down here everything that's on a comic board or a magazine board is 2 yards or more. If it's 5 yards, then it goes someplace else. But 2 yards or up to 5 yards, I put on a comic board. And then the ones that are folded like this, here, that are folded like this, these are all 1 yard cuts. So you can see I have a lot of 1 yard cuts, a lot. And I've been working on redoing this the last couple of days, and I found out a couple of things. Number one, I have a lot of 1 yard cuts, and I have a lot of fat quarters. Number two, I don't have very many reds, which is odd. Now I have red that is kind of in other prints, you know, but not like main red color. I don't have hardly any red. I don't have any orange at all on a comic. Do you have a little bit of orange on 1 yard cuts? So it's interesting, the fabrics that I didn't realize, you know, that I gravitate towards. I have a lot of blue. I don't need any more blue. Okay, that's the one fabric I have the most of is blue. And I mean, I had so much blue I couldn't even fit it on one shelf. Okay, and I don't have as much purple as I thought I did, but I do have a lot of pink tones like coral and, you know, that kind of range. So that's how the shelf is. Then on the very bottom shelf is 5 yards or more, or 108s. And it's easier for me to put my fabric in colors, group them in like colors. Now some people like to have it all mixed up, and that's okay. You do it that way, but by me doing it this way, then I can go, oh hey, you know, next time I'm at the fabric store, I don't necessarily need that blue fabric that's so pretty, right? But I could use that red or maybe some orange, you know, kind of thing. Susan said that's how she does hers. What is hanging on your window? What's hanging on oh, I put up the heart quilt. Remember, that's the calendar quilt. For February, it's the heart. And then, of course, there's curtains and other things hanging up there. Those are little prayer things that a friend gave to me. And then there's Willa down on the floor, taking a nap, ironing board, and the heater. There you go. Okay, so let's get back to fabric. And thank you for putting a heart in there. What's the easiest collage pattern? Let me get the book. There are a few collage quilters out there, and some of them have books. Or if you are trying to save money, you don't want to get the book, go and get some color books. Okay, for little kids. like 3, 4 year olds, where the pictures are really big, and there's not a lot of detail. Or pick some up that are detailed, because you can make a collage using that detail too. And you can do it that way if you feel good about how you pick out colors. Or you can get Emily Taylor. Her book is called Take Flight. It's all about art collage. And inside of here, she gives you patterns. And she also talks about picking fabric and all that kind of stuff that you need to know. And she gives you some this is her first book, I believe. And she gives you some pretty easy patterns to do. Let me see. Well, this one has the animals. I have another one of her books too. But you see here, see, this is kind of some of her patterns. All right. But you could do the same thing if you had a color book, as long as you know how to do your colors. Okay. And really, picking your colors, the main thing you want to do is pick them in shades, So you're going to have light, medium, medium dark, and dark. Stay in that color range or shade range when you're doing collage. Okay? All right. If you're new to quilting, okay, we're going to move on to quilting. Yeah, don't feel bad, Shelley. Yeah, I have a little more fabric in the closet, because it's all in kits. And then, of course, I have my batiks that are over here, and but the batiks are in baskets. Right here. These are the batiks. And then this is a thing that you put your shoes in the closet, that hangs vertically. I have it laying down horizontally, so it's like little buckets, and I can put color scraps in there for my batiks. Okay, so those are my batiks. Okay, so if you are just starting out, you've never sewed a quilt, I recommend that you get pre-cuts. I know they're a little more expensive, but if you look around, you can get them on sale. Now, when I first started, I got my pre-cuts actually on eBay, and I got them for like $4 to $7, and that was for a charm pack. The reason I recommend that is because with a charm pack, you can easily sew a charm pack all together and get yourself a nice little baby size quilt. And they're already cut in 5-inch squares. You don't have to worry about that. And it is already color coordinated for you, so you don't have to pick out any colors, right? Yeah, I just got it fixed, Terry. So hopefully, I got to do some more testing on it, but yeah, I think it's fixed. So hopefully this afternoon, I'm going to put a practice quilt on there and make sure everything is working right. So you have charm packs. Charm packs are 5-inch squares. You can get jelly rolls, a whole jelly roll, which is anywhere from like 40 to 44 strips. They're 2.5 inch. Okay, 2.5 by length of fabric, which can be anywhere from 40 inches to 44. The thing, all of these pre-cuts, the fabric is coordinated for you, okay? So a full jelly roll, a half jelly roll, a little baby jelly roll, get that. You can get little teeny mini charm squares, and these are 2.5-inch square. You can get layer cakes. Usually get 40 to 42, maybe 44 sometimes if you're lucky. And again, you get all of the, at least one of every fabric that's in the line, okay? So layer cake. You can also get these little rolls, like Jolly Bar roll, which is a half of a layer cake. So it's 5 inches by 10 inches. Okay. Those are at the Fat Quarter Shop. And my favorite, Fat Quarters. Okay. And you can get Fat Quarter bundles and all different quantities. Okay. It just depends, you know, on what the manufacturer wants to send out. Hi, Billy. Oh, really? She said, I ordered a fox pattern because it looks like your dog. One more project to add to the growing list. That's funny. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Kelly. Oh, by the way, if you guys haven't done it yet, today is Sobecca's birthday. Don't forget to go over and tell her happy birthday, okay? All right. So, just go get a charm pack. And even if you're not going to use it, because what you can do with it is see how the designer coordinates their fabric, okay? And this can be really helpful. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and open this. This is Camille. This is really pretty. We got this in a Fat Quarter box. Okay. And this is the first color. Now, this is what I would call one of the main prints in here. It has a variety of colors in it. That's the main reason. Okay, let me see if I can find another one. And it is bold, meaning the print is bigger. So typically, there's going to be one or two main pieces that the rest of the fabric is based off of. Okay, so even if I didn't have this charm pack, this whole charm pack, I could take this one square and pick colors out of my stash that will match this. I would pick blues and reds and pinks, white probably, and there's green in here. So it's typically, you know, 4, 5, 6 colors in the main fabric. And hi, Kathy. And that is really helpful. Okay, so when you're keep going through this, you're going to get, now you're going to start getting smaller prints that coordinate with the main print. Okay, then she added a line stripe because people like those mostly for borders. Okay, and then you're going to have this same, you're going to have the same print, only smaller. This is basically the same thing as this, but it's done smaller. Okay. Now here's another one that could be the main print because it's big and bold. Basically has the same colors in it except for no blue, but it has the reds and the green and the pinks in it. Okay. So then they're going to give you some more, give you a solid red with little hearts. Here's another one. These are really tiny little prints. Then they also do medium print. This is a medium print. That would be kind of a medium print. That one, you're going to get a little more bold here. All in red. So this red all matches this red, right? Then she moves into the corals. So she's picking up coral from here, from the main print, from this print. And I'm not even going to count these stripes because I usually use those for binding. But now we're getting into the coral, kind of a peachy color. So all of those match these. All right, so here's another. Now we're back to our main print, only with a different background color. So this one has more of a pink, peachy background, but basically the same print. Okay. So now they're going to go off of that one. But all of those still match. See how they all still match? Now here's a big, this is the biggest one I've seen so far. Big flower. This one, that'd be really good for fussy cutting. But you can kind of see, now we're going to get into the blues. Here's the blues. Hope you guys can see this well enough. We gotta go down just a little bit. Okay, we're gonna get into the blues. I'm just gonna take these off. Okay, blues. More blues. Now with the blue background. So you can really study the fabrics, okay? So they give you, she also gives you white and then green. So what did we have? Okay, here's the green. Got some greens. And then here's one of the whites. Okay, so what did we have? We had pink, pink. White, white background, white background. Reds, reds. Green, green. So you see how they have picked those colors to add to the bundle, right? So that's pretty much how they do that. All right, what if I didn't have all of these? And all I had was a piece of fabric that I loved. I loved this, okay? Let's say that's all I had. Let me move all these. But it has, okay, I picked the piece that has all my colors. So you went to a quilting store and you found that fabric on sale and you brought it home. Now you got 2 yards of it. Okay, so what are you gonna do? How are you gonna pick out some fabric? Now, by the way, I consider this charm pack with all these fabrics and all these colors, I consider that controlled scrappy. Controlled scrappy. Because when you use a charm pack, layer cake, jelly roll, you know, you're using different fabrics in your quilt. It's all still scrappy, so in my opinion, but it's more of a controlled scrappy, right? Those are beautiful. We got 3 of those in the sew sampler, and I want to make a quilt out of them. Okay, so what I would do then is, I have my fabric. I would take it over here to my fabrics, and I would just take this piece of fabric with me and walk up and down and try and match some colors to this, okay? All right, let me see. I think you're close enough. Hi, Nancy. Yeah, I don't buy charm packs anymore, Kelly, but I did when I first started because, you know, I was so new at it and I just thought it would be easier, and I really wanted to do a couple of baby quilts, and it just made it a lot easier for starting out. So, and I'm just using this as an example. And, you know, I did buy layer cakes too because, you know, you can cut your layer cake into 5-inch squares and you're going to get 4 charm packs. It's much more cost effective to buy a layer cake than it is to buy charm squares. Okay, so now I'm not considering your background fabric at all at this point, okay? I just want to pick out, let's say, 3 fabrics for each color that's on here. All right? I shouldn't have picked red because I already told you I didn't have that much red. So I'm going to either do yardage or fat quarters. So I just go along with the fabric and look around for that blue, and then I pull the fabric out. That one's a possibility. These are even better. Some blues. And when you're picking them out, you want to pick out different shades of the blue, not all the same shade. So you want a light, a medium, and a dark. Remember what we had in the charm pack? We had a light, mediums, and darks. Okay, so you just keep on going. So I picked out a couple of blues, so I'll bring those over and show you. Okay, so here's a couple of possibilities for the blue. Now, this one here, the blue matches, and it also has a little dot of red, a light red in it, which matches that perfectly. I don't know if you can see it or not. Hi, Karen. Yep, doing okay. Yeah, sorry about that, you guys. I know my accidentally, Nancy said she was here 12 hours ago. I accidentally scheduled my live for 2 a.m. So, sorry about that, you guys. So that would give me a couple. Let's see what I have in reds. Here's another possibility. Now it is a blue that is different than the other two blues that I picked, but it has that cherries on there and the green that match. It could work, but I don't know that it works too well with this blue. But if that's all you had, you could use it. Okay. So let's see. See if I can find a red. Okay, here's a few reds. Here's 3 reds, might work. Different shades. This one has a light pattern in it. This one has little pink flowers. So that goes really well. And this one has little teeny white polka dots on it. Okay, so there's 3 red possibilities. Now I could also do, because they had coral, so I could do a coral, right? The coral. Looks good with those corals there. And let's see how it looks with the blues. Looks good with the blues. Okay, let me see what I have for coral. Okay, here's three coral possibilities. Let me move the red so I can show you the coral. Okay, so here's your corals. Okay, this one's really nice because it has greens in it that matches. And this one has a little bit of green in it too. This one has polka dots. Okay. So those look good. Let's see how they look with our reds. Maybe not so much this one. This might be too dark. And then we have our blues. Some blues. So, whoop. So I guess you can kind of see where what I'm getting at here. This is how I would pick them out. And of course it might be easier to do fat quarters instead of 1 yard cuts. It's easier for me to see 1 yard cuts than it is fat quarters. Okay, you guys have any questions yet? So, like I said, this could just be the only piece of fabric you had. Now you could still pick out greens. We still have greens in there. I don't really have any greens that match that very well. Now, here's a fun one. Now look at this one. This would probably work. Because it has the green, same shade. It has the pink. It has the blue, and then shades of blue, and then it does add in other colors, but not too much. It has the red here, but this would definitely work, even though it's more of a medium scale print. Okay. Yeah, exactly, Lynn. It's like having your own personal fabric shop to go to. Very helpful, Teresa. Thank you. You're welcome. Thanks for sharing how to pick fabrics. It helps a lot. I hope so. Does anybody have any questions? So, you don't have to even start with something that has a lot of colors on it. It just really helps if you do. So let's say you just wanted to pick out colors that matched this, that coordinated together. So I picked out this green one. I had this pink or corally color. This one, I'm going to skip this red. I don't really like it. I had this darker one. I had this one. I don't need too many. I'm getting too many of the same shades. Okay, and the coral, let's say I had this. And I had this one. All right. I might want to pick out another green But I could eliminate this one completely. I just use this as a pattern, color pattern, so to speak. Right? You don't necessarily have to use that main color. It just helped you pick your palette. Okay? Neighbor's dog is here. His name is Zipper. Hi, Zipper. How you doing, buddy? Did you come up to steal something? I don't know if you guys can see him. He's over there. Don't you lift your leg up over here, mister. Bye, Mona. Hi, Nita. Okay. I'm just looking to see if there's any questions. How are we doing on time? Okay. Oh, thank you, Len. She said, I watch something new every time I watch you. No, the neighbor's dog just likes to come over and visit. There he is. Can you see him? His name is Zipper. Oh no, Mona fell down the stairs. Just now? Yeah, exact. Don't lift your leg, Zipper. That's so funny. Yeah, I kind of worry about that with those boys, you know. Is she okay? Is she going on to the doctor? Um, Zipper, he comes over whenever he feels like it, and we let him in. He usually goes for a walk with the other dogs. So. Susan. No, just very sore. Oh no, Mona, I'm sorry. Get some rest, girl. Go lay down and rest up. Maybe take a Epsom salt bath. Those seem to help. I wish our border collie could come up with me, but he will lift his leg on something, so he has to stay downstairs with the others. Yeah. No lifting any legs up here. Okay, so were there any questions on picking colors? Now, I kind of go through the same process when I'm picking out a border to go with the quilt, but I stay in my 2-yard area. Well, it depends on how big the quilt is, really. So, but basically the same process. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention to you guys is you could always take your fabric with you to the fabric store and ask somebody there if they would help you pick out some fabrics to go with it. Okay? Well, now you're saying, well, Teresa, I get all this picking out fabric, but how many fabrics do I need? Okay? That is a good question. How many fabrics do you need? Okay, well, that depends on, of course, your pattern, right? It depends on what your pattern says, or how you want your quilt to look. If the more scrappy you want your quilt to be, the more fabrics that you will need to pick out. if you need all of them, says Terry. That's right. You need all of them. So the more you have, the more scrappy it'll look. Now, when I want at least, I usually try for 12, at least 12 different colors or different prints, different colors. And then, like I said, it really depends on the pattern that you're going for. Maybe you just want to do one color quilt, all blues, different blues. That is a lot easier to do than picking out all the colors from here. Just pick out all the shades of blue, different shades of blue, and do a blue and white quilt, or a red and white quilt, or green and white, whatever your favorite color is. How do I pick backing fabric? Okay. Hi, Jean. Yeah, I've talked a whole bunch about picking fabric today. I do the backing fabric. I'm not as worried about as I am the front. But first I look and see what I have. And if I have anything that matches, then okay. So if I had, or I take the quilt top with me to the quilt store, okay? That's another way. And just try to match one of the colors. If I have mostly light blues like this color, then I try to pick out a backing that matches that. All right. And also, it depends on my binding, because I want my binding to kind of match my back and my front. But the other thing I did want to talk about is background fabric, okay? When you are first starting out, I think it is much easier to just pick either a white on white, or if you don't like that white on white look, pick a black or gray, because those three are going to match whatever you add to it. All right. I mostly do white on white or cream on cream, or in my quilts. I have a really hard time like doing a blue, like if I did blue background and then putting fabrics on that. For some reason, I just can't get my brain there. Or doing, I wish I could do kind of some of the stuff like what Tiffany does. She never has like a white background. Her backgrounds are always these colors, and I'm like, I'm not comfortable about going there, But if you are, great. I wanted to do like a yellow background. I had the yellow fabric and everything, and it ended up being the backing on my quilt. So I have, all right, so here's like, and I didn't go that dark of a gray, but I did have a gray, and it's a solid gray. I know, don't faint, because I don't really care for solid fabrics, right? But I wanted to try something different, so I used this gray in a quilt, okay? But here's a white that I typically do, all right? The other one I use a lot of times is this cream color. It's cream colored. And one time I did use this fun polka dot, and I did that on a baby quilt. Fun polka dots. So that's basically me. So I'm kind of like being safe in my background colors, because just about anything, you know, well, this won't, not that, with the gray or the cream. See, I could put this blue one with the gray and it would be fine. So, let's see. I have this, I did buy this purple, solid purple. I know, don't faint. Solid purple. Well, it's kind of lavender, okay? Because I want to do a purple quilt using this as the background. All right? I haven't done it yet. I'm still trying to get there. But you know what? I just realized this would look really good on the back of my purple horse. Or here's one. This would probably be good for a background fabric. Here. And especially for like a little kid's quilt. It's got the stars and the moon and stuff. So that'd probably be okay. All right. Let's see if you guys have any questions. I hope that helps. I know, Joyce, whatever Tiffany throws together does turn out great. I totally agree. Oh, that's true, Billy. That's a good idea. Maybe the way to experiment is to use other colors in baby quilts, because I want to break out of my bright white backgrounds. I have used cream batiks. That's a great idea, because the baby's not going to really care, right? Yeah, that lavender is pretty. I totally agree. So I suppose if you want to, this is a good idea too. If you want to use a different color for your background, you just do the same thing as you did when you picked out your fabrics to go with this. Just pick out a solid or a tone on tone color out of here, and it's going to match. So I could pick out a light blue and then use all of these fabrics, and it should look okay, right? Because you're using the same color, baby blue. I could do that. Yeah, well, yes, Willa is all sprawled out. You don't like blue or purple, Lynn? Thank you, Jean. She said the sewing room looks comfortable. I'd like to get like a chair in here, a comfortable chair, just to sit in by a lamp and do some hand sewing. But I don't think I have room. Well, like I said, Karen, she says, how can I get past having everything matchy matchy? I've yet to try a scrappy quilt. In the true sense of the word, scrappy, neither have I. My scrappy is all been pretty much controlled. They all kind of match. But I'm using different prints, different shades, different of the different colors. I don't know. That would be, I would say just start sewing your scraps together and make a little crazy pot holder and see what you think of it. The other thing you can use for backing, now not everybody agrees with this, but you can use sheets. I would check the cotton, co- um, make sure it's a cotton sheet, and the thread count, I would check that. You don't want anything too tight, otherwise it's hard to quilt through it. Hello, Lisa's Quilting Corner. How you doing? Okay, I'm just running through through the chat real quick and see if there's any questions. Um, Green and pinks are my go-to colors. Oh, that's like Kate from the last homely house. She loves green and pinks. Sheila says, do you pick your background back now at the same time you do your fabrics, or wait until the quilt is made, then pick out the backing? Um, 90% of the time I wait until the quilt is made and then I pick out my backing. Very seldom do I have the backing already, with my other fabrics. So, yeah, I usually wait. Sometimes I have enough fabric on hand to make up a backing. A lot of times, like I will, if I have any fabric left over from the top, I'll sew it together and use it on the back. So I kind of have a, not a solid back, but kind of a scrappy back. Or if I don't have enough of one color, enough fabric to make it all the same thing, then I'll find something else, that matches and sew it together. And so you kind of have a double-sided quilt that way. Oh no, Miss Mac, Mrs. Mac. I'm gonna say she probably picked the typical pink, muted, because K Facet is kind of a acquired taste. Yeah, step out of the comfort zone a little bit at a time. Yeah, that's a good idea. Hi, Susie. Okay. So, waiting for Mrs. Mac to tell me what she picked. The baby picked K Facet. Yeah, I like that. Okay, I'll set these back here. Oh, so I was going to talk to you about, what time is it? 2:30. Okay, I guess I got a little more time. I was going to talk to you about panels. Use a panel, yes, sheet on the back frequently. Doesn't shrink as much as the yardage. My friend loved the K. Oh, that's great. I'm proud of her. That's awesome. I'm surprised. So what I will say about panels, you either love them or you hate them. Okay? But the thing about panels is they are great for baby quilts. All right? So if you are brand new at quilting, you don't even have to bother with picking out all those fabrics. You can just pick out a cute little panel and quilt it. So, for instance, here is a cute little sheep panel. Cute little sheep panel. Now, this is probably, let's see what size it is. It's not quite a yard. That's not quite a yard, but it is plenty long enough, I think. Let's see. It is like 1 yard and a quarter, maybe. Close. So if you wanted to make this a little bit wider, don't worry about making blocks or trying to figure out how to make blocks. Just get some fabric that matches and add a border. So you could just, this is not the right color, but let's just pretend that it is. You can just add however much of a border you want onto the side and even the top if you wanted to, without cutting it down or anything. And that will give you your baby quilt. Or you can do exactly what we just did with that charm square. You can use the panel colors to pick out your other colors, like greens, black, gray, yellow, blue, several colors in there to choose from. And you could put on a couple of different borders. Pick like a pretty green to go out here, and then maybe yellow, and just add borders until you get it to the size that you want, and then do a quilt sandwich. And if you don't know how to quilt, then you would learn how to tie the quilt. Nothing wrong with a tied quilt. I think a tied quilt for a baby quilt is really cute. Okay, so that is another option you can do if you're brand new, is to just do a panel and maybe pick out a couple of other fabrics to go with it. Some of these little baby panels are really cute. And I would put like flannel, nice soft flannel on the back of this baby quilt. And that would make it so soft and cute. In fact, I have some really cute flannel fabric Wouldn't that be cute? Those little balloons, you know, and it's flannel. So that would be cute on there. Plus, they have a lot of other panels that you can get, and that wouldn't be, like I was thinking this would be really cute, just as a wall hanging in your kitchen, right? It's cocoa, hot chocolate. Now, you could just leave this all together, don't cut it up, or you can cut it up and add it to other blocks that you're making. But I would just leave it and make a cute little table topper or wall hanging or something like that for your kitchen. I would, you know, after you square it up, then I would add another like small cream border around it and then add another red border to it. But here is another option to pick out colors. Now, what did I say earlier? I could I could use this right here. I could use this, just this one square, to pick out all my colors for a quilt. Okay? And then not use this at all. But I picked out these colors so you know they match, they look good together. So if you pick them out from your stash and you put them all together and make a quilt, they're going to be pretty. You don't even have to use this piece. So that's your homework. I want you to practice. I just want you to practice. I want you to get a piece of fabric that has 4 or 5 colors on it. Go out into your stash, pick out fabric to go with it, and then I want you to take a picture of it, and I want you to post it in the Facebook group and show us what you picked out, okay? That is your challenge. I want to see what you guys are doing, okay? And we want, and no judgment, okay? There's no judgment. Pick out the colors that you like. I bet you that everybody's going to say you did a great job. Don't be afraid. You can do it. Okay. Oh yeah, you could make hot pads out of it too, yep. Yep, you can tie the quilt with embroidery floss and then you're just done. And I really think, one of my favorite quilts that I use all the time, it's all hand tied. It's very old. And I love that quilt. It lays very soft. You know, it's not stiff and heavy. Because if you get too much thread on a quilt, it can get pretty darn heavy and stiff. But boy, a tied quilt is soft and, you know, cozy. And that's what I like. Lily. We'll use it as a table table runner or something. She said, I would be afraid to have a quilty wall hanging in the kitchen with all the grease and smoke. Who am I kidding? Like I cook. Teresa, would you take time on a Sunday to show how to square up a panel? Yes, I would, Teresa. Sure. Yep. Some panels are pretty hard to square up. Sometimes you have to square them up first with the iron and seam and pins because they're not always square. Yeah, I don't know if Pat cooks. Oh, that's the other thing. I'm glad you brought up Pat. Um, Pat Sloan makes a lot of quilts, okay? And if you're not subscribed to her, you should go over and subscribe to her because whenever she starts a new project, a new quilt, excuse me, I got a cough. Thank you. I started getting a sore throat last night, so um, when she starts a new project, she shows you what fabric she's going to be using and whether she's going to be getting fabric, pulling it from her stash to add. She seems to always, if she has a fat quarter bundle, she seems to always pull more fabrics out to add to it. And she shows you that whole process. So, I mean, I, I would say almost every week she's talking about how she picks her fabrics. So you should definitely check her out and see what she does. It's basically the same thing I'm doing, but if you need more instruction, I would definitely go check her out. Yes, you may. Let me put it, see if I can get it to go in there. Yeah, I agree, Jamie. Some panels are very wonky. Um, let's see if my bot is working. So what you have to do is need to have a nice big area to lay your panel out on, and then you will have to have a nice ruler. Yeah, I can tell already that the printing on this panel is way off. And then what I do, and I'll just show you in this little spot to start out with. If I know that I can see that this is wrong, I'll have a ruler over here and I will work this until I have it squared up, okay? So you might have to use a little bit of steam. So I can see right here this red part is sticking out and the white is sticking out here. So I will move this over with my fingers until the red is coming out, and then I take a pin and pin it right there. I might need another pin and pin it right there. And I do that all the way down. So put a little bit of spray, a little bit of water, just a little bit. Okay, so you got that side. Then, after you've done that and you've gotten that line all straightened up, you do that all the way around. And then you take your iron, or you just leave it, because you've got it wet, right? You could just leave it. So pretend I did that all the way around. So I'm going to have these pins in there, holding my fabric a certain way, and it stretches it. And like I said, I sprayed it so it's it's damp. Not really wet, not wet, wet, wet. Just, lightly mist it. Don't get too carried away. And then you're just going to leave it and let it dry like that before you cut it out. I know, it's a pain. So now it's all dried. It should be all squared up after you've done that. The other thing you can do is use a steam iron. If putting a little bit of mister from your spray bottle on there isn't working, use your steam iron to if you're going to cut those out. That's how I do that. And so if I had a big one like this, I would do the same thing, but I would do it in sections. I would do the same thing, have it out here like this, check it and see if it's going to be square or not, which it's not. So I would do the same thing, pull that out. I'd have something here holding this down so it doesn't move, and then spray it, pull it out to where it's correct, pin it, and then let it dry. That's how I do it to get, before I even start cutting it. Because if you don't have that straightened out before you cut it, then it's much more difficult. So try to straighten them out before you cut it. Then once you've done that and you've gotten it all square, it's not too bad cutting them out. I hope that helped, Teresa. Did that Facebook thing work? Two four 2424. Oh, it is, isn't it? That's funny, Terry. Yeah, okay. The Facebook Nightbot thing did work. So, Mrs. Mac, there's the Facebook group. Yeah, and she always makes more than one quilt at a time. I do too. I have about 5 or 6 quilts going right now. Yeah, I square up quilts with the iron all the time when I have them on the long arm. Helps a lot. Okay, Mrs. Mac. My brother's birthday is 2/2/24 this year. Okay, great tip. Awesome. Yes, Pat Sloan does love garden flowers. Which one, Jewel? The the cocoa one or the sheep one? I've had these panels for quite a while, so I don't think they're really new. Hello, Craft On, and so forth. The the sheep one is World of Susie B for Hamel Textiles, design SB 20042. It doesn't say what year on it. The cocoa. The cocoa. I don't even remember where I got this one. Okay, it doesn't have the year on it, but it is Wilmington Prints. It's called Cuppa Cocoa. Okay. Cuppa Cocoa by Wilmington Prints. And That's all the information it has on it. You know, I picked these up when my local quilt shop puts them on sale. And actually, I might have got this one from So Yeah last year. Oh, here's the other thing you can go off for colors is if your selvage has the color thing on there, you could use that to pick colors too. Also, if you could use your color wheel. You would think I would have a color wheel, but I don't. I used to. I don't know where it went. It is really cute. And I really love this color of blue. And with that red is just to die for. and the brown. I just think all of the colors are so cute. And look at this. Isn't that cute? Isn't that cute? Wouldn't that be so cute as a little wall hanging? Yeah, it would. I'd almost want to like frame those. If you're worried about grease. You're welcome, Jewel. Okay, I'm going to ask you if you have any questions. And then I'm probably going to go ahead and let you go. Oh, cool, Teresa. Gloria Horn Sewing Studio just had a bunch of panels last Monday. Every Monday is material madness. Oh yeah, mug rug? Yeah, that would be cute too. Let's see. Oh, wow, Gloria. My mom and dad's anniversary was on Groundhog's Day, and if they had both lived, they would have been married for 64 years. Yeah, sad. I miss them. I miss them lots. Okay, I'm waiting for any questions. I know this thing is really behind, so I'm just gonna wait for a minute. I don't think anybody has any questions. Okay, if you end up having a question, leave it in the comments below the video and I'll try to answer it. I'm terrible about that. Sorry, you guys. Yeah, holy girl. I know, right, Pam? It's tough. The older you get, the more people you miss. Hi, Jim. Bye, Jim. Okay, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day and go make something or just kick back and relax like I'm going to do. I'm going to go take a nap. Bye, y'all. Love you guys. See you next time. Bye.